Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I am your host, Miss Ronnie, and I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. I have been seeing a lot of commentators covering the J-Lo. I really don't know what you call it. So I'm gonna just call it bad publicity, I would say. I don't know. But it leads me to the negative effects of being a diva in the entertainment industry. Since the pandemic, I feel that everyone had to adjust in some type of way, whether it was to keep money going, explore new streams of income, creating new business ventures, or just basically just trying to stay relevant because everything was shut down. So I kind of feel like it leveled the playing field for people who was trying to break into various aspects of the industry. I just want to be clear. It seems that being a diva is not gender specific, does not have anything to do with sexual preferences. So being divalicious is an attitude. Beyonce said a diva is a female version of a hustler. That's true, but in this sense, according to Oxford Language, a diva is a self-important person who is temperamental and difficult to please, usually a woman. Usually, not always. Everyone came from a woman, so I'm just going to assume that everyone has some diva within them. But when does being a diva have negative consequences? I have heard of some crazy writers that screams diva from hell. And if you don't know what a writer is, when you're hired to be part of some type of entertainment, then you have like a list of, I'm not going to say demands, but things that you would like to have done in advance before you get there, or to be available to you while you're there. And sometimes people have like some really ridiculous writers. And one performer wanted all of her brown M&Ms removed from her bag of M&Ms. And I was like, I'm shaking my head like, why you can't get your own damn brown M&Ms out? Shit. One man, when I read this, I was dead. I died and I came back and I died again and I got back up again because he wanted 5 women that had a certain height in a particular age range with, as he said, sexy athletic builds. Was like, ooh, this that. He don't have the looks for that, and I'm just being honest. And then on top of that, I think some of this stuff like this, since he is linked to Diddy, is going to come back up, because I think that is rather strange to just out and out ask for, basically, I need you to provide me with some sexy women to be around me. So basically, in your writer, you're asking for a prostitute. But hey, another woman, and I thought this was crazy, another woman do not like to be stuck in traffic. So in her writer, it says that under any circumstances that she should not be stuck in traffic. It has to be guaranteed. And I'm like, are they going to shut down blocks or something? How are you going to do this? And why? Like, other people have important things to get to. You're not the most important. I can understand not wanting to sit there if there's an alternate route or something that you can do. But I think that some of that is just ridiculous. According to Parenting Today's Teen, a classic symptom of diva syndrome is a callous disregard of other people's feelings. So I did a little Google search for celebrities known as being a diva. And just even in the top 3, 2 of them were in the music industry. Number 1, and I don't know if it's because she's the biggest diva, because I saw some articles written about her writers, and it wasn't as bad as some of the others. But number 1 is Jennifer Lopez. And like I said, I don't know if it's because she's in this news cycle or what, but she was number 1 and Mariah Carey was number 3. And I actually laughed out loud. And I mean really laughed out loud because according to Mariah Carey, she don't know who Jennifer Lopez is. She don't know her. I'm not going to get into why Mariah can never, ever, 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 ever recall who Jennifer Lopez is to this day. Even when people even just, I say, entertain it, she still don't know who Jennifer Lopez is. So I'm going to leave that for, I guess, maybe in a few years, somebody like Ashley Say So or somebody will cover it. But I'm going to leave that part alone. But I do think that J-Lo is paying for some of her actions and for being complacent, I would say, in certain alleged sabotages of other artists during her time. And I'm just going to leave that there. Beyonce was number 5. Kanye West was on the list. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna. So I'm just going to say, let's just hope for the good traits of being a diva. And remember that men can also be divas too. So it's not gender specific or anything. So like I said, it's the attitude. But there's also some positive traits. According to Susan, I think it's Heaton Wright, there are some great characteristics of a diva. They are passionate and ambitious, creative and innovating, demanding and result-oriented. They are charismatic and inspiring. In an article titled Diva Behavior or Narcissism, a special trait of a diva, they are confident in their abilities and contributions, and they love recognition, but they are happy to give credit to others too. Now, because this thought came because of the situation with J-Lo and how she's in this news cycle and how she's trying to do damage control, and I hear even trying to shut pages down on Twitter and buying comments. I don't know how true that is. That's allegedly, because I don't know anything about that lady like that. But I remember Jamie Foxx telling a story, and I'm not going to say it verbatim because I don't know it verbatim, but he was saying something about that he saw her out and was trying to speak to her, and it was after In Living Color. So keep in mind that they worked together on In Living Color because she was a background dancer and he was like an actor, comedian, singer on there, and tried to speak to her, and she act brand new with him. And what he said was, and it was funny, but now thinking back on it, he was like, hey, I remember when you was J-Ho instead of J-Lo. And at the time it was funny, but now thinking about and listening to all the things that people are alleging and things that happen and how she care about her image and how she don't like people to look at her in the eye. And I mean, that is some crazy shit right there. But anywho, that made me think about that if you would do that to somebody that you work with, of course you would probably be rude to somebody that you don't know. And if I'm not mistaken, J-Lo is a Leo, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that Leos get a bad rap because your girl right here, she's a Leo too. This girl right here, yeah, she's a Leo too. I of course, a narcissist would not say that they're a narcissist, but I think that I'm very empathetic, and there's always dark sides to a trait, to a sign. And I think I remember hearing that she used a lot of astrological things in some type of musical movie that she did or whatever. But there are positive traits and negative traits, and I want people to remember there's a whole chart. But as well as you have a sun sign, you have a moon sign. And a lot of time, your negative traits come from your moon sign. So I'm just wondering, is like she a double Leo, or no, is it just, as Cat Williams say, it's time to pay the piper? It's the year of Aquarius, 2024. It's going to be truth. And it seems like that's what it is. But I'm just going to leave you with Being known as a diva can have positive as well as negative results. But don't let having a diva attitude become narcissistic. Remember, you can find us on all podcasting platforms, streaming live on social media, and I added a new platform on the Rumble platform. And you can find your merch and services on the website, blonde-intelligence.com. And I will see you next week. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.